is some... I'm trying to tell you. I am trying to tell you that I know now there is no program or promise that a president can make that the federal government can come in and wave a wand and do this.
In 1973, 18-year-old kid from the Bronx threw a party in a recreation room, 2 turntables, a borrowed sound system, and a crowd that had no idea what was about to begin. There was no record deal, no music video, no Instagram. No one in that room could have imagined it. But that party would one day become a billion-dollar global industry. It would help put black artists and entrepreneurs at the center of music, fashion, business, and media. But here's the part the headlines always get wrong. They tell you hip-hop is a story of murder, gang wars, and crime. That's the story they sell you. This is the story they don't. This is a story of opportunity. How does a sound born in the poorest neighborhoods of New York become the most influential cultural force on the planet? How do artists who were told they had nothing turn around and become billionaires? The answer doesn't start with the studio. It doesn't start with the record label. It starts with a broken city, a young immigrant, and a sound system. To understand the music, you have to understand the place. By the early 1970s, the South Bronx was burning. Landlords set their own buildings on fire for insurance money. Whole blocks sat empty. Jobs had fled the neighborhood. For the Black and Puerto Rican families who stayed, opportunity wasn't just scarce, it felt illegal. Kids didn't have dance studios or music schools. They had the streets, they had block parties, and they had one thing nobody could take from them: sound. In 1967, a teenage boy named Clive Campbell moved from Kingston, Jamaica, to the Bronx. In Jamaica, sound systems were everything. DJs and MCs ruled the streets, toasting over records. Clive brought that culture with him. He bought 2 of the same record, and he found a way to make a party never stop. The Bronx gave him a new name, DJ Kool Herc. On August 11th, 1973, at 1520 Sedgwick Avenue, Herc's sister Cindy threw a back-to-school party to raise money for clothes. Herc was the DJ. Most DJs played whole records. Herc did something different. He isolated the break, the instrumental section where the drums hit hardest, and looped it back and forth using 2 copies of the same record. He called it the merry-go-round. The dancers went crazy. And when Herc grabbed the microphone to hype the crowd, calling out names, rhyming over the break, the first MCs were born. A friend of his, Coke La Rock, is widely credited as hip-hop's first MC. DJ Ing and MC Ing were at the heart of that party, while breaking and graffiti were developing alongside the culture that was emerging across the Bronx. And it was born not out of violence, but out of creativity. For years, this music stayed in the streets. Record companies wanted nothing to do with it. They said it was noise. They said it wasn't real music. They said it would never sell. But the culture kept growing. And in 1979, everything changed. A group called the Sugar Hill Gang released a record called Rapper's Delight. It was built on rhymes that a Bronx MC named Grandmaster Caz had written. The label behind it, Sugar Hill Records, run by Sylvia Robinson, a black woman who saw something the industry refused to see. Rapper's Delight climbed to number 36 on the Billboard Hot 100. It sold millions. It became rap's first major mainstream breakthrough. Hip-hop had its first hit and proof that this culture could make money. But early rap was mostly party music. In 1982, Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five dropped The Message. It wasn't about parties. It described the reality of the streets, poverty, pressure, hopelessness. Songs like this proved hip-hop wasn't just entertainment. It was journalism from the bottom. It was Black America telling its own story on its own terms. And suddenly, the industry couldn't ignore it anymore. In 1984, a black promoter from Queens named Russell Simmons and a white NYU student named Rick Rubin, 2 unlikely partners, started a label in Rubin's dorm room. They called it Def Jam. Def Jam signed the Beastie Boys and LL Cool G. And with Russell Simmons managing his brother's group, Run-d.m.c, 3 black kids from Queens who wore black leather and Adidas, no flashy costumes, just raw confidence, the Def Jam movement felt unstoppable. In 1986, Run-d.m.c's album, Raising Hell, became the first hip-hop album to go triple platinum. They were the first rap act on MTV.
This is it, y'all. It's y'all. It's y'all. It's y'all. Rockin' with the Aerosmith, y'all.
I like this style because there's a lot of electric guitar in it, you know.
Violent.
Yeah, and it caught my ear. So when I found out about this, I was, real excited.
They even crossed over with Aerosmith on Walk This Way and took hip-hop into white living rooms across America. Hip-hop had gone from the rec room to the mainstream, and the money started flowing. But the artists were about to learn a brutal lesson. Owning the culture is not the same as owning the business. Through the 1980s and early 90s, record companies made fortunes and artists got pennies. Labels owned the masters. Labels owned the publishing. Many of the culture's biggest stars were famous but broke. Some artists fought back. Master P built No Limit Records in the early 90s and turned it into an empire from the South. In New Orleans, brothers Brian Birdman Williams and Ronald Slim Williams started Cash Money Records. And in 1998, Cash Money signed a roughly $30 million distribution deal with Universal. Crucially, the Williams brothers retained ownership of their master recordings and a large share of the economics. And in 1995, a young rapper from Brooklyn named Jay-Z and his partners Dame Dash and Kareem Biggs Burke started Rockefeller Records because Jay-Z refused to sign his masters away to a label that didn't believe in him. This was the moment the story turned. The artists stopped just making music. They started building companies. Jay-Z didn't stop at records. In 1999, he launched Rockaware, a clothing line that did hundreds of millions in sales. In 2007, he sold the brand to Iconics for around $204 million, but kept his royalty stream. He learned to own the stream, not just the product. That same year, 2007, Sean Diddy Combs partnered with Diageo to relaunch Ciroc Vodka. He didn't just endorse it, he took a 50% share of the profits. Under his partnership, Ciroc sales exploded from 50,000 cases a year to millions. This became one of the most profitable celebrity liquor deals in history. And Jay-Z took notes, applying that exact same ownership strategy to his own liquor ventures with Douce Cognac and Ace of Spades champagne. He didn't just make music, he made his music work for him. Meanwhile, out in Los Angeles, Dr. Dre was building too. After leaving NWA, he founded Aftermath Entertainment. And in 2006, with music executive Jimmy Iovine, he co-founded Beats Electronics, headphones, then a streaming service.
Now, when Apple initially announced it was paying $3 billion to buy Beats, the headphone maker and streaming music service, with only 250,000 subscribers, many people were left scratching their heads.
In 2014, Apple bought Beats for $3 billion. Dr. Dre, a kid from Compton, became one of the richest figures in music history. And in 2019, Forbes named Jay-Z the first billionaire in hip-hop. The boy who once couldn't get a record deal had built an empire worth over $1 billion. The first billionaire in a genre born in a Bronx rec room. This is what the headlines never tell you. They tell you hip-hop is about gang wars and crime. And yes, the genre is full of tragedy. Pain and loss are part of its real history. We don't erase that. But hip-hop is also the story of a community that was told it had no opportunity and built its own. It gave Black Americans a platform in music, fashion, business, media, sports, and entrepreneurship. From Russell Simmons building one of the first black-owned entertainment empires to Jay-Z and Dre becoming billionaires, this culture turned marginalized voices into global power. Hip-hop didn't just entertain the world, it changed who gets to own the world. In 1973, an 18-year-old threw a party in a recreation room with $50 and a borrowed sound system. He wasn't a rapper. He wasn't a businessman. He was just a kid who loved music and refused to let the party end. He couldn't have known it, but he was planting a seed that would grow into a billion-dollar empire. Not a story of murder, a story of opportunity. Every artist who owns their masters, every black founder who owns their brand, every kid from the bottom who refuses to stay there, that's their inheritance. And that's the story we tell here. The history, the headlines leave out. If you want the real stories behind hip-hop, the deals, the empires, the genius, subscribe to Hip Hop History Vault. Hit the like button if this changed how you see the culture. And comment below, who do you think built hip-hop's greatest business empire? Jay-Z, Diddy, Dr. Dre, or someone else? The party isn't over, and neither is the story.